and a step-by-step instructional for hot sticks today. I have had lots and lots of requests for this over the course of time because I use hot sticks a lot in my videos. And also I am reviewing today Micheline Pitt's Modern Pinup DVD for makeup and hair, and she also uses hot sticks in this video, so I thought it would be a good solid time to do it. Remember that hot sticks are a heated product. It is the only set that I think brings on an authentic 1940s, 50s wave that is a hot product. Now, if you use a curling iron and you do stand-up pin curls with a curling iron, you will also get a very authentic wave. But for us super stick straight haired girls, I find that these hold, the curls that these make hold even better than those made by a curling iron with stand-up pin curl sets. So use your own discretion. That's going to be everybody's to everybody's taste, whatever works best for you. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about hot sticks. They've been around since the 80s or so. They are basically a flexible roller. They get very hot, so they work really, really well as a heated set. And they clip together at the end like this. And I will go over the pros and cons with you as I'm doing this video. But anyway, these are them. I'm missing one. I think my daughter did something with it back before we moved, so I have no idea where that one is. But this is enough for my hair. If you've got thick hair, you're going to need at least 2 sets of these. So if you are planning on purchasing these after you see this review, make sure that you purchase 2. If you've got thick hair or long hair, you're going to definitely need more than 1 set. This is not going to be enough for your hair. I have recently discussed Remington tight curls on my videos. I use this instead of a standard hot roller set to bring on a soft 50s wave if the humidity in my area is low, because these to me are a lot more user friendly. It's just that the curl doesn't hold as well on my hair. So what you'll need before you get started when you're going to do any hot roller set or heated set is you will need a good heat protectant. This is the Pantene heat protection spray. I actually like the Tresemme heat protectant better. I use this like all over my hair while it's still, when I just finished blow drying it, just to give it a little bit of extra heat protection. You'll also need something to spray on each individual section as you roll. I think that Layrite grooming spray is another great alternative for that, simply because it's alcohol based, so the moisture evaporates immediately, but it also provides kind of a protective coating on the hair as you're using a heated product, and it's a soft hold, which means it will help you with the longevity of your curls, but it will also be easy to brush through. It's very easy to brush through at the end, and a really, really great product for hot roller sets or heated sets. And then you'll also need a hairspray at the end. I love Elnet. And then of course you'll need a great brush. This is my favorite brush in the world. It is the Denman styling brush. And it's got these stiff little bristles that just make it really easy to brush out. It's ideal for retro sets. And then for a little bit of shaping and polishing up at the end, you'll want a natural bristle brush or a teasing brush. It just kind of helps smooth things down. So that's what you'll need, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I have my hot sticks, and they have an indicator here that tells you when they're done heating, and it turns completely white. It's very important to wait until these are completely heated up before you even try. Especially, like I said, if you have straight hair, you're going to want to have everything in your favor for making sure that your curls last. So these are the hot sticks. They're completely heated up, and you're going to want to keep the lid on while they're heating. So these come with the large and the small rollers. I like to put the large rollers on the top because I like the wave that these give, and then I like to put these on the bottom, the smaller ones on the bottom, because that's the curls that tend to flatten on me quicker, is the ones that are closest to my neck. So I get those in a tighter curl. So my hair's roughly parted in the middle. I just kind of let it fall however it wanted to after I dried it. And what I'm going to do is pull up one section at the right behind my bangs, because I'm going to just incorporate my bangs into this style. If you don't have bangs, of course you would just do this with the front hair that you have, with your shortest front pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to spray. Now I like to spray each section, like I said, and one of the reasons I do this is because it will help with flyaways as you're trying to roll. So I concentrated on the ends because that's the part that's most likely to get damaged. And then I'm going to take one of these rollers and I'm going to place the hair tightly around the end, holding it in place, roll upwards, make sure you keep it nice and taut. And you saw that I didn't use very much hair. You want to make sure that you're rolling smaller sections, like I said, especially if you have straight hair. Okay, and then you're just going to pull this through, and there you go. Now these orange ones, the larger ones, they stay really well. So there's your first curl. And I always roll them forward or under. This roller is not really all that, it doesn't respond that well to rolling it under or over the opposite direction. So I'm just going to take another section here, and you're going to tightly wind this around the center. Now these get kind of hot, so it might kind of burn your fingers a little bit. That's a good sign. See, I have 3 going down the center, and now I'm going to roll these downwards on each side. So I kind of view it as 3 sections. Now if I'm rolling someone else's hair, if I'm using these to do a client, for instance, I tend to do kind of that standard bricklayer pattern that you see for when you are in hair school. They teach you how to do a bricklay setting pattern, which is really, really a great one. But for myself, of course, I don't do that. I'm just going to use the pointed end of my teasing comb to section each section. Going around the center, rolling it tightly inward, all the way up to the scalp, and pulling it tightly. So I've got 3 going down the center and 2 on each side, rolled all the way to the scalp. And I only have 2 orange ones left. And so I'm going to look carefully so I can make sure that I have the even shape and size of curl for each side. So I've got these evenly placed, and now I'm going to take my leftover orange ones and I'm going to place them here, this section. To be careful about the ends, because if you are just kind of haphazardly rolling them up, you're going to end up with a little bit of a kink on the end, which is going to affect the outcome of your set. So I have these evenly placed all over the crown of my head. Now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more rollers left. And as you can see, I have a lot of hair left, but I have really thin, fine hair, and these are super skinny rollers, so it will be fine. Like I said though, obviously, if you've got thicker hair, you're going to need more than 1 set of these. I have a friend who needs 3, but she uses almost all of them. So it gives her a beautiful, perfect wave every time, and she's got naturally wavy hair, so that's going to be even more ideal for her. Okay, so we're going to do this whole side section in 1 roller, and I'm going to kind of roll it back. So I'm going to prep it, tightly wind around, and then slowly place it backwards and pull the end through. Now, these pink ones, they have a very, very strong tendency to just pop open in the middle of your set, especially if you're sitting for a while waiting for the curls to process. So what I tend to do for these pink ones, and this doesn't even always work 100% of the time, but it will definitely give you a lot more of a chance of them staying, is I take one of these double prong clips and I place it right at the joint. And that will usually keep it and make it stay put. And a lot of people are really curious as to why doing a small roller is a better option, especially for straight hair, for these retro sets when they seem to be such pretty waves and they're not really necessarily tight curls. A little tip for you. Anytime you see those beautiful, soft, perfect waves in an old movie, that was a result of small pin curls. Because a pin curl has to be brushed and finessed in order to form a beautiful wave. And if you didn't roll the curls really tightly, especially like I said on straight hair, if you did not roll the curls tightly, the wave would disappear by the time you finally got it brushed. So now I've got just 4 rollers left. I'm going to do 2 sections on each side under my ear, and then I'm going to do 2 in the back. So that's in all of my hair and one set of hot sticks. Used every one of them. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this process. There is no super quick way to curl straight hair. There's just not. Either you're going to have to roll them with a curling iron, roll the hair with a curling iron and pin it up and let it sit, or you're going to roll it in rollers, hot rollers, pin it up and let it sit, or you're going to have to do a wet set, because your hair is going to need time to process. So always plan on at least an hour of hair styling time, of hair setting time, every time that you plan to use these. I'm going to let mine sit probably for 45 minutes at the most. They need to be completely cold by the time you take them down. So we'll be back with the process. Okay, so I am back. It has been about 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. None of them popped open, so these things did help a lot. What happens basically over time is that these little things will start to stretch, and they'll get closer and closer and closer to the end like that. And then all of a sudden you'll feel... So anyway, so you can see how well even these bottom curls took. So I'm going to take these curlers out. At this point, it doesn't matter what order you take them out in because they're all completely cold. Okay, so now that you've got your curls all out, you're going to kind of get the lay of them. You don't really have to do much. Okay, and my curls, I kind of wanted them to be even on both sides, so I'm going to keep them kind of parted here in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is just take my Denman styling brush and I'm going to just go through. Now, you don't want to try to yank your brush through your hair because it's going to get stuck. These are pretty tight curls at the end, so it's going to be difficult to do. So what you're going to do is just kind of hold the group of curls in your hand and just kind of very gently brush through them. You're going to see a lot of frizz develop. Okay, so right now you see it's frizzy, and no amount of brushing is going to get this frizz out unless you brush it properly. So this is how you brush it, and make sure that you use this in response to all of your questions about retro sets. This is the standard brush out technique that I use, and I think most people use in order to control frizz. Now, if you've got naturally curly hair, you may also need to coat your hands with some pomade or some type of product. I can't do that because my curls will go away because my hair is so naturally straight. So what I'm going to do is just start to curl to, now, and I kind of like this frizz. I like it. I think it's cute. But if this isn't what you're after, because it's not the retro style we're going for, then what you do is just take, now you can see this wave has already started to form based on our curl. So we don't want to mess it up too much. We're going to just take these, since these are cold, they're going to withstand the brushing really well. And we're just going to start brushing against our hand until you see no sign of frizz at all. And then drop. Look at it and see if that's what you want. If it's not, do it again. So you're going to take the curls, brush them through against your hand, like this, against your hand. This was the technique that the stylists used in the 1940s to control the frizz on pin curls. It is a standard technique. It works like a charm, and it's just an amazing, amazing tool. Your hands are a great tool. Now, if you want these curls to be bigger, and you want them to be more fluffy, and you want them to have more power behind them, and you want it to be more modern, then by all means, what you can do is just start picking up sections and back combing so that you have a lot more volume. Teasing is your best friend when it comes to volume, but I'm not going for that. So I'm just going to keep the top of my head totally flat. Because today what I want is just soft curls around the bottom. And I kind of like the way this wave is starting to happen. So I'm just going to kind of shape it with my fingers. Spray it. And I really like the way these large flowers look with a soft wavy hairstyle because it brings to mind more of those beautiful islandy looks. Traditional 1940s, 50s soft curl that was brought about by hot sticks. It takes less time, but anyway, that's all, and I hope you liked it, and we'll talk to you later.